Hello everyone, welcome to the Cottage. I'm Joey the Veiled Cottage Witch, and today we're doing another episode of one card in 4 decks, and boy have I got the decks for you today. I'm so happy with my choices. So today we're talking about the Major Arcana card number 12, the Hanged Man. I absolutely love this card. It is such a standout in beauty. As far as I'm concerned, for the Major Arcana, I can always find it very easily in any deck because you can see it's such a beautiful corner when you're going through a Rider-Waite deck. You just know this card like the back of your hand for us seasoned readers. The crystal for the Hanged Man is the beautiful amethyst, and I love this piece so much. I've had it for years. So amethyst is really good at calming the nervous system, and it helps with introspection and surrendering to a higher power. It's also really great for meditation and trance work, which is perfect for the Hanged Man. So let's talk about this guy. So the Hebrew letter that corresponds with the Hanged Man is Mem, and that means water. So that's really, really important to note as far as what this card represents. The planet is Neptune as well. So the Hanged Man invites us to see the world differently. He's suspended upside down. And for years, I was always turning him right side up. I'm like, no, that's not right. The Hanged Man, letters are down there, so I know this is right. But, when we were beginners, we kept turning him upside down and right side up. So, he tells us to be ourselves, even if the whole world thinks we're weird. He's a little strange, you see him, you're like, well, that's an odd position to be in. He asks us to express ourselves freely, damn the consequences, to just be ourselves. I love that about the Hanged Man. So he's hanging there, but he does not appear to be uncomfortable. Look at that face. He's completely serene. He loves it. He's in deep entrancement, not suffering. He's not putting himself there out of punishment, or nobody has put him there either. He's in deep trance, deep meditation. And this calls out to the Norse god Odin, who hung from Yggdrasil, the tree of knowledge in the Norse tradition. He hung from that tree for 9 days in order to gain the knowledge of the runes, among other things. So, it's a sacrificial rite. We put ourselves in uncomfortable positions, like yoga sometimes, for the greater benefit, right? So this also calls out to Saint Peter, who was crucified upside down because he didn't think he was worthy to be hung like Jesus. So he wanted to be hung upside down. So, there's just a couple of different sacrifices, that were made in mythology that, kind of reflects this sacrifice right here. So we have in the symbolism, we have the Tau, I believe I'm saying that right, the Tau cross right here. It's the Greek letter Tau. It's often used to illustrate the crucifixion mentioned in the book of Ezekiel, which described setting a mark onto the forehead of men. Now, this also is the tree of sacrifice in the is representative of the living wood, which the growing leaves indicating life in suspension, just like he is in suspension. So the position of the figure right here, this kind of upside down letter 4, number 4, forms another cross, and this time it's the foul-foot cross, an altered version that is associated with the Nazi Party, but we'll talk about that. At the time the Rider-Waite was conceived, the full fur was almost exclusively used in religious imagery and was considered a holy symbol all over the world. Right here. So this is another sacred symbol. We've got the Tau cross and the foul-foot cross. Now, the appearance of the hangman can sometimes be taken as a sign that we need to let go of societal pressure and stop worrying about how we're seen by the world. He tells us to be ourselves and follow our own path, regardless of what people think. It can also be telling us that maybe we need to put things on hold and try to see things from a different perspective. I get this card a lot for people who need to take a break from social media. You know, that's societal pressure turned up to 11, right? You know, nobody liked my status or nobody shared my meme. You know, it's such a hit to, you know, your, not just your peer pressure, but to your self-image. It's just terrible. If I didn't have to be on social media in order to grow my business and my channel, I wouldn't be on it, you know, but there's so much pressure. It really is. Now, it could be indicative of a sacrifice, that we're holding on to something that is no longer serving us, and maybe it's time to let go and to move on when the hanged man comes up. Now, when this guy is reversed, it could mean a resistance to following your own path, not letting your freak flag fly, so to speak. And you're only acting in a way that we believe is acceptable to other people. You're conforming too much. You're being a robot. You know, you're doing things just to please other people. Now, sometimes you have to have a personal sacrifice and surrender and enlightenment. You have to let go of the trivial things that fill your mind from day to day. And that is staring straight at you in reality. And sometimes when it's reversed, you really need to take a look in the mirror and see what you need to let go of. Your cup is really, really full, and you need to let some of it spill out. So that's the Hanged Man in a nutshell. So let's look at the Under the Oak Tarot. I love this deck so much. So I want to point out there's a rune, Legaz, I believe, and Legaz is a need to come to your spirituality. So I love that Legaz is there. Now we have these oak leaves, and oak in Celtic mythology means door, and more specifically, the door to enlightenment. So that is perfect. We also have water. She looks like she's floating in water. And remember, I talked about that Hebrew letter mem, meaning the element of water, and the planet of Neptune. And Neptune is a very watery planet. We have these fish here to indicate that, right? And the Tau cross, if you look really closely, there it is, right across her chest. Awesome. So I love finding those little details that call back to the OG. So that is the Under the Oak Tarot. And now we have the Guardian of the Night Tarot with this cute little opossum. Oh, he's so adorable. Oh, I just want to hug him. Now, opossums, when they are threatened, they play dead. They don't fight back, they play dead. So essentially, this is a message to step back to gain perspective, to, to kind of circumvene that instinct to immediately fight. It's asking us to play dead a minute, take a step back, get a hold of ourselves, get a hold of our feelings, right? Take a breath, because when we respond with a fight, we are emotionally dysregulated. And when we respond, when we are emotionally dysregulated, we are not responding from our highest self. We are not our best self at that moment. Nobody is. But if we take a step back, we take a moment, just like he's doing, just like she's doing, we take a step back to gather our emotions, to ground ourselves, to center ourselves, and we can come back. Then we can have that conversation. Big time lesson from Mr. Opossum here. Life lessons. We can avoid big, huge fights that way. Most arguments can be avoided by just taking a moment to gather ourselves, our fear responses, our anger responses, and just ground and center and gather yourself, and then come back. Play dead every once in a while. It really, really helps. And now I have to read this. I had to, because there is so much detail in here. I had to take notes from the book. This is the Wildwood Tarot. And this is very symbolic. So forgive me, I'm going to get my notes out. All right. You don't have to read my notes. Focus on the card. You see nothing over here. All right. So this is called the Mirror. And I love this card so much. I'm like, who cares if I have to read notes? You guys don't care. I loved this explanation so much. Okay. So instead of the Hanged Man, it's called the Mirror. So the mysterious figure, and she is, I think she's part mermaid. So the mysterious figure holds the mirror right here that aids our inner reflections. The orb of seeing helps illuminate the shadows of our inner life. That's so powerful. The heron right here stands both as a keeper of the mysteries and a guardian of the other world. So he's standing guard right there. The mirror is a reflection of the different angle or different perspective. A small wooden boat right here carries an ethereal figure suspended and awaiting his journey. So he's suspended, he's tied off right here, awaiting his journey to the island for healing and protection. So these trees right here are healing and protection trees. So he's suspended. He's not dead. He is asleep. And so he is suspended just like the Hanged Man is suspended. And the orb is the reflective aura around him, his enlightenment. And the mirror is the contemplation that he's doing. Isn't that awesome? I thought that was the coolest daggum thing I'd ever seen. I love this deck because it really gets deep. Wildwood Tarot. Amazing. I loved that. So this was the Hanged Man in the Rider-Waite Smith, the Under the Oak, the Guardian of the Night Tarot, and the Wildwood Tarot. So how do you guys interpret the Hanged Man? Do you guys agree with me? Do you have a totally different interpretation? Please let me know down in the comments. I'd really love to know. And let me know if you have a Hanged Man in one of your decks that you'd really want me to take a look at. Please let me know down in the comments. Please give this video a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit that bell for more new notifications. Please visit my website at theveiledcottagewitch.com. You can book a reading with my reader, Bobby Fierro, over at Wild Raven Tarot. You can also book a class from me or workshops. We have those going on all the time. You can shop my herbal store where I have remedies, and I also have spell aids, magic aids, ritual aids, the whole nine. But just remember to, at checkout, put in the code word, all caps, veiled, to get your free shipping. That is my gift from me to you and only available on this channel. So don't forget that. If you'd like to financially support this channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. All the details are down below, or you can just scan this QR code right over here, but absolutely no pressure. Just live your best life and live for yourself. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.